What's up, guys, and welcome to the Tim's Sports Talk. We have a Sunday recap because we have the game of the week. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. Pittsburgh 6-0, Baltimore 5-1. Two Goliaths going at each other. You got Big Ben, Lamar Jackson, number one defense, arguably number two defense. These defenses are fantastic as well. These guys are both the real deal, and it did not disappoint. DRG's here. What's up, DRG? And wow, let's just start with the team stats today, because this was like there's a couple things I look at. You got to look at turnovers, time of possession, third down. Like, these are like the extremes of both, and it does not determine the winner, really. So you have Pittsburgh's 3 for 9 on third down. Baltimore's 8 for 15. Okay, you think Baltimore is having a good showing. Possession, Baltimore, 35.5 to 24.5. Okay, Baltimore should win this game, right? Well, you have 5 turnovers for Baltimore. And also, 4 turnovers. And also 9 for 110 yards on penalties. 9 penalties for 110 yards. That will kill you every single time. Lamar accounting for 3 of those turnovers. 1 was a fumble, but he wouldn't have gotten the first down anyway, so you could look at it as a turnover on downs or a fumble. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it was not a good day for Lamar. He finished the day 13 for 28. That's under 50% throwing, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, and a fumble. Rushing, he had 16 carries for 65 yards, which, you know, it sounds okay, but for his standards, that's not at all. He usually averages like 6-7 yards a carry as a quarterback, so averaging around 4 is not good enough for him. But also, Baltimore ran the ball really well in general. 15 carries, 113 yards for J.K. Dobbins, 16 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown from Gus Edwards. On the day, they were 47 carries, 265 yards rushing, and a touchdown. But Pittsburgh's defense, man, they had the pick 6, multiple turnovers. It was all about the Pittsburgh's defense because Ben just did enough to not lose. 21 for 32, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know, not world-beating. James Conner only 3 yards a carry, 15 for 47, and 1 touchdown. So the offense wasn't much for Steelers, but the defense is absolutely legit. So we start here. I'm just going to go through the fourth quarter real quick. So Pittsburgh's up 21-17, and you get a big 3rd and 14 completion for Lamar to Willie Snead on 3rd and 14, right after a sack. It was huge. Then the next play, you had Lamar Jackson run for a touchdown, but he got called back for holding. But this was vintage Lamar Jackson. Pockets collapsing on him, and he gets out, somehow spins out of there, then runs, makes people miss, runs in between people. It's like a 20-yard touchdown run. It would have been the highlight of the day, but instead it's called back for a holding. That's what Lamar gives you, dude. Highlights all day. And then another highlight that was just not quite meant to be was Marquise Brown in the back of the end zone, lands on his knee. It almost stays in bounds. They challenge it, but since the call was incomplete, they stayed with the call on the field. Did not quite come down with it, but it was okay because the next play, Marquise Brown got the touchdown anyway. Much less of a highlight, just a touchdown. So that puts it at 24-21 Baltimore. Well, a couple of big penalties for the Ravens, 1 face mask and 1 defensive holding, keeps the Steelers' drive alive and allows them to come down and score a touchdown to Chase Claypool on an out route. Good throw by Big Ben. But yeah, those penalties, man, 9 for 110 yards. That's insane for a game. But that allows the Steelers to get right back up, 28-24, and unfortunately, that's where the score stays. 28-24, Steelers win. And they tried. They drove down inside the red zone both times. One, they got stopped on downs where Lamar fumbled, and the other one, the last play of the game with about 5 seconds left, Willie Snead gets crushed. It was a dart throw right in there to him, but 3 people surrounding him, and he absolutely gets destroyed. No chance of catching that ball, and that is how the game ends. What a day. But yes, we got some comments here. Hail to the Redskins. I'm going to miss Kerrigan. Did they actually trade him? I saw that there was rumors, but I don't know if they actually traded him. Mitchell Wasmus. Lamar had some big plays downfield, but he didn't give his receivers a lot of chances at yards after catch on a few. That throw to Duvernay could have been a TD. Yeah, I mean, but he also had a couple of bad drops. I know early on, Duvernay dropped at least one, and then I think it was, who was it? It was Prochet. Prochet dropped another. So, yeah, it was not the best day for his receivers either. Harrison Mingham, bro, my Rams got me effed today. I'm drinking my sorrows away. Oh, did the Rams lose to the Dolphins? I actually thought that might be an upset alert. I think I said that last week, that Rams were on upset alert. How did Tua do? I didn't look at that at all. I was mostly focusing on this game. I'm going to look that up right now. How did Tua end up with on his first day in the NFL? He gets the W 28-17. Tua, not much to show for it for Tua. He didn't have a great day. This must have been a Dolphins team win because, yeah, 2 picks for Goff. Also 2 fumbles from Goff. So 4 turnovers from Goff gets it for Tua. Tua was 12 for 22, 93 yards and a touchdown, and only was sacked once. So without watching it, I don't know really what happened, but still, that's very unfortunate for sure, Harrison. DRG, bold fact, Big Ben is better than Lamar right now? Absolutely not, but I like what you're thinking. It's funny. He has way better weapons, Mr. Big Ben does. Juju is still good. You have Claypool, excuse me, Chase Claypool. The weapons are definitely better for Big Ben than they are for Lamar right now, and Lamar is a freaking human cheat code in a lot of ways. He's amazing. So no, I don't think he's actually better, but he is great. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer, no doubt, with 2 Super Bowl championships. So he knows what he's doing with that big arm, big body too. I'm gonna miss Kerrigan flexing his knuckles every time he got a sack or a big play. Did they actually trade him or what? Yes, no, we didn't trade him. He requested a trade this morning. We don't know that. Read the second paragraph of that article. There was other sources saying that he did not request a trade, and he would never request a trade because he says loyalty to his team is more important than trying to go chase a championship. So it's all hearsay at this point. Until the actual move happens, I don't believe any of it. All right, Mitchell Wasmus. Now we have to witness Sweat and Young. Kerrigan doesn't play as many snaps anymore anyway. You're right, he doesn't. He only played 7 snaps last week. But his veteran presence has clearly affected Sweat, and the same to Young. We need him until the year is over. I mean, it depends. If the right conversation comes back and they actually offer us maybe a first-round pick or something, I'm not turning that away for Ryan Kerrigan. I love Ryan Kerrigan. If he wants to stay, then hey, I'm want to keep him, you know. But somebody comes over with the first round, we're talking to Kerrigan. It's like, hey, do you want to go to this location or do you not want to go to this location? But right now, a first round pick would be really flipping nice from a team. So let's see. Chris Sports Talk, shake my head. That's crazy, Kerrigan, man. Shaking my head. Trade him to the Patriots for Cam? Nah, that ain't happening. No, if we do anything, we would get trade capital, or draft capital. But I don't know what's being offered right now. I have no clue what teams are even looking at for Kerrigan. But no, I don't know if that's even a thing. What else do we have today? Buffalo knocks off New England. They were the favorites, but New England fought hard, man. 24-21. Miami upset the Rams. That's huge. Cincinnati upsets Tennessee. Let's go look at this box score. Joe Burrow, 26 for 37, 249 yards, 6.7 average, 2 touchdowns. Not anything world-beating, but that's awesome. Good for him. I don't know, it doesn't say what his QBR is there, but I'm sure that's like around 100 for sure. On the 153.8 scale, not the 100 scale, obviously. Giovanni Bernard, 15 carries, 62 yards and a touchdown, around 4 yards a carry. Nothing. Is that Samaje Perine? Samaje Perine was getting carries today for Cincinnati. 10 carries, 32 yards and a touchdown. Good for Samaje. Tyler Boyd, 6 catches, 67 yards and a touchdown. Fair enough. Let's see what other scores we have on the day. Raiders beat the Browns 16-6. Apparently the Raiders defense showed up, or the Browns offense forgot to show up, because that's ridiculous. Surprise, surprise. Chiefs beat Jets 35-9. Only surprise is that Jets scored 9 points. Colts versus Lions 41-21. Colts smacked the Lions. I was expecting that. And Vikings actually upset the Packers with 4 touchdown runs for Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook, 30 carries, 163 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Look at this stat line. Good old Kirk Cousins, 11 for 14, 160 yards, and a touchdown. Talk about, I just didn't lose the game. Yeah, because Dalvin Cook's going absolutely crazy. And it sucks that you have, what is his name? Just Aaron Jones out. Jamal Williams taking his place. Not terrible, 16 for 75, around 5 yards a carry. But yeah, freaking, he's no Aaron Jones. There's no doubt. Aaron Rodgers did okay, though. 27 for 41, 291 yards, 3 touchdowns. Not horrible stat lines. Let's look at the play-by-play, see how that panned out. They started off 7-0. Wow, each of them only had 2 drives? Holy crap. There was only 4 drives in the first half of the Packers-Vikings game. Oh my goodness. 13 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. 10 plays, 73 yards, touchdown. 15 plays, 72 yards, touchdown. And 12 plays, 67 yards, touchdown. Wow, that is some offense right there. Some long, sustained drives. Unbelievable. Then the Vikings come right back out with a 10-play, 85, 5-minute drive. Holy crap. I've never seen a game start with 5 drives, because I'm not going to count the one where they just, right before the half. 5 drives in a row. All of them were 10 plays or more for over 65 yards. The shortest drive in the first 5 drives was 5 minutes. That's insane. Packers tried to keep it alive by going for it on 4th and 10, it looks like, and he had it incomplete. They were like, our defense ain't stopping nobody today. So that's funny. And then the Vikings again scored 4 plays, 63 yards. Unbelievable. 50-yard Dalvin Cook pass. Kirk Cousins pass to Dalvin Cook. So even of the 160 passing yards for Kirk Cousins, it's 50 of them to Dalvin Cook. Wow. And they got one more garbage touchdown, and then they fumbled at the end of the game to ice it. They must have tried to do like the pitches. Let's see what we got here. Hail to the Redskins. Ravens coach John Harbaugh announces that LT Ronnie Stanley is out for the season with a severe ankle injury. Ooh, that sucks. Ronnie Stanley's a really good left tackle, too. They just paid him. Yeah, no, Ronnie Stanley was worth the money. He's been a really, really good left tackle for them. All right, continuing on with the scores of the day. What do we got here? Let's hop into this Colts-Lions. Let's see who got all the points, because it wasn't Jonathan Taylor, let me tell you. Yeah, Jordan Wilkins was the hot hand today. 20 carries, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Taylor was only 11 carries, 22 yards. He just wasn't cutting it. That sucks, because I have him on fantasy. And then Hines was in the air. 3 catches, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, very interesting. Stafford was meh. He had a lot of yards, but 24 for 42, 336 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Not terrible, but 5 sacks for 39 yards. Ouch. Hard to win that way. Phillip Rivers played well, though. 23 for 33, 262 yards and 3 touchdowns. No picks and only sacked twice. Good for him. What do we got? Let's go Ben DiNucci. I'm right there with you. If somehow we can get an upset by the Cowboys, because we don't think the Cowboys are going to do anything. So, yeah, I'm rooting for good old Ben. You know what? Let's look at some Tua highlights here. Nice touchdown. Short pass. Devontae Parker. Go look for him, man. Great receiver. I would trade Haskins and Kerrigan to the Colts for Michael Pittman Jr. You're nuts. For Michael Pittman Jr.? No chance. No chance. 1 catch for 6 yards, you're trading Kerrigan and Haskins? No chance, Chris. That's crazy. Okay, I know you say some bold things, but that is bonkers. No chance. Oh, Michael Pittman isn't trash. They just don't give him no PT. I don't care what Pittman is. I'm not trading him all that. How did the Titans lose to the Bengals, right? That is weird, dude. Even after all the freaking COVID stuff, they came out and beat the Bills, like destroyed the Bills. But then, with a full week's rest, you get dudded on 31 to freaking 20 by the Bengals. Hey, man, Bengals, dude, they were 16th ranked on the PFF rankings, so it's not all bad over there in Cincinnati. And Joe Burrow looks like he's trying to do a little something over there. 26 for 37, 249 yards and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3 carries for 9 yards. Some of those may have been kneeling though. Let's look at here at the end of the game. Nope, they punted at the end of the game and gave them one more chance. So, Jude, Cincinnati went toe for toe with them too. Joe Burrow touchdown. Then the Titans answer, trying to make a comeback, but hey, no. Another touchdown from Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, 2 second-half touchdowns to ice the game against Tennessee, to not let the comeback happen. That's awesome. He's actually good. I'd rather him than Marvin Jones. Trash, but that's fine. I don't care if you like Pittman Jr. more than Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones is not worth Ryan Kerrigan and Dwayne Haskins. All that Haskins is trash. Only value we giving is Kerrigan. Haskins is the equivalent of a kicker. That's not true, because a lot of people think that he has a lot of talent, so he may be able to draw a 3rd or 4th round pick, because a quarterback is the most important position. Just like you would not think that Daniel Jones was worth a 6th round pick, or a 6th overall pick, but since he's a quarterback, you're going to draft him a lot earlier. But no, you do not trade a freaking quarterback and a defensive end, arguably the 2 most important positions in football. Minus maybe O-line. It might be quarterback, O-line, then D-line. But they say the most important is quarterback, and the second most important is the one that gets to the quarterback. You're not trading 2 of those prime positions away for a receiver that nobody even really knows. Like, he's like a no-name guy. Like, not that like he's completely a no-name, but comparison to Kerrigan and Haskins, that's not. Imagine Haskins being worth a 3rd rounder. I'm serious. Josh Rosen was a 3rd rounder. Talk to me, Chris. Josh Rosen. Yeah, 3rd round pick. Exactly. So, yeah, don't talk to me about, oh, Haskins can't be worth a 3rd rounder. Yeah, Josh Rosen was worth a 3rd round pick. Don't come at me, Chris. Nonsense. No, sorry, it was an exchange, and they got a 5th round. They exchanged 2nd round picks and got a 5th round pick, so never mind. I would give up a 7th rounder for Haskins, ain't no 3rd rounder. Hey, well, Josh Rosen, who's hot garbage, and we all knew he was hot garbage, got to Miami a 2nd round pick exchange. And a 5th round. Hold on. Trade grumblings. Hold on, is this actually what happened? Let me see here. Let me double check. Josh Rosen traded to Dolphins for 2nd rounder after Kyler Murray. Oh, never mind. They got a 2nd round pick for Josh Rosen. A 2nd round pick for Josh Rosen. Coming at me like he's only worth a 7th round pick. People will trade a lot more for a quarterback. Are you crazy? Do you know what players I can get for a 3rd rounder? If Haskins was in 3 years draft, he would be a 5th or 6th rounder at best. Dude. Josh Rosen. And a 5th-round pick. Pulled a 2nd-round pick. I don't understand what you were talking about here. I don't know what you mean. Look. Josh Rosen traded to Dolphins for 2nd-rounder. I don't understand what you want, dude. What do you want from me? That's Josh Rosen. You do realize everyone knows that was a bad trade and won't happen again, especially for Haskins? Yeah, they got a 2nd-rounder, so maybe give up a 4th. Quarterback is the most important position ever, okay, in all of sports. If you could potentially get him for a 4th-round pick for a guy that you know has a big, strong arm that may be getting screwed in Washington, you liked his college film, because a lot of people liked his college film. If you liked what you saw there, you have Big Ben Roethlisberger close to retirement. You have Phillip Rivers close to retirement. This guy might be able to come in for a 4th-round pick. You're telling me you might not try to go get your franchise quarterback? Come on, dude. You're crazy. You're nuts. The only way you're getting a 4th-rounder is if he goes to a contender who is in a win-now mode. Nobody's trading a 4th-rounder that's a contender for a quarterback. If you're a contender, then you already have a quarterback. Like, what do you mean? No, you would be trading Dwayne Haskins as a potential a project for the quarterback that you have now that's aging, like Phillip Rivers, like Big Ben, like Drew Brees, like I don't know, list another quarterback there that might be in the same boat. I'm trying to think. Matt Ryan. Is there anybody else? Cam Newton. Anybody else? That's what I got so far. Or if the freaking Jaguars like him, which they don't because Jay Gruden's there. Exactly. Those teams you mentioned are contenders outside of Matt Ryan. Patriots are not contenders. Pittsburgh is. Colts are, are they really contenders? They're 5-2, I guess. Who have they beat? They've beaten Minnesota, the Jets, the Bears, the Bengals, and Detroit. And they lost to the Browns and the Jaguars? You really consider Colts one? Pittsburgh is. There's no doubt about it. But they're not trading it because he's a because they are contenders. It's because they have an aging quarterback that is getting out. But Patriots are not contenders this year. Atlanta's definitely not a contender. You're right about that. Patriots have a losing record right now, don't they? They're 2-5. They're not contenders. Who else could you mention? The Buccaneers with Tom Brady. That could be a potential spot for them. They're contenders, though, but that's a potential spot. So that's what I'm saying. It's no team who is losing, like the Jets and the Jaguars, are going to trade for him. They want their QB out of the draft. The aging QBs are on winning teams would give up a 4th. Yeah, because, that's fine. But it's not only a contending team. I just gave you a couple of ones that are not only contenders. Shoot, the one that Miami made the trade, he wasn't a contender. Or they weren't contenders. They made the trade because it's like, hey, We need a quarterback potential, and we don't have a one in our draft spot. When they made the trade for Josh. I asked you before, send him to the Patriots. You said they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't. I know they wouldn't do it. It's two different things. I was just listing teams with... I don't think anybody will do it. And Patriots are in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes as well? No, they're not. They have 2 wins. Jets have 0. No, they're not. And they just played the Bills super hard today. Patriots have had a tough schedule, I think. If I remember right. Yeah, they lost... Holy crap. Yeah, they lost to the Seahawks, the Chiefs, the Niners, and the Bills. The only team that was bad they lost to was Denver, 18-12. But I think that was the game... No, they had Newton. Never mind, I lied. Chiefs was the game they had Hoyer. And they beat the Raiders, and they beat the Dolphins. They're looking to trade Stephon Gilmore. I like Stephon, but I'm not trying to give up any value for them. Now, Stephon Gilmore is a type of player that will go to a contender because there's multiple corners that play on your team at once. You're not trading to a contender is not looking to give up big capital right now for a quarterback, not because they're contenders. Whereas like a contender would be super interested, even if they have another really good corner. Like the Ravens might still be interested in trying to go get Stephon Gilmore, even though they have Jimmy Smith, Marcus Peters, and Marlon Humphrey. Even though they have all those guys, and you can bring in another guy potentially and Stephon Gilmore off the bench, oh my God, they would still maybe try to make a trade if the price was right. But probably not. I don't know. Like, who's the corners for Pittsburgh right now? Because their defense is awesome. Adding another piece on there couldn't hurt, probably. Look at the Steelers depth chart. Depth chart. Corners. They have Joe Hayden. Okay, not bad. And Steven Nelson. I have no clue who this Steven Nelson is. I'm looking up his PFF. He was 68.9. I mean, that's okay, but that's not Stephon Gilmore. So if the Steelers can somehow get a hold of Stephon Gilmore, oh my God. At the end of the day, Haskins needs to go. He's trash. Ryan Anderson is also up for trade, but no one wants them. Yeah, I would be okay with trading both of them. I didn't like the second-round pick when we went after Ryan Anderson anyway. Seahawks would be the team for Gilmore. Hey, good for them. But I'm just saying, you want to just add a cherry on top to an amazing roster, give him to Pittsburgh, and holy moly. Give TJ Watt, Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward, Bud Dupree, this front seven, a shutdown corner, and Stephon Gilmore. Championship. Because also the Seahawks need pass rush. I don't know if they need DBs. They need pass rush. Their pass rush has been horrible this year. Seahawks must be on... Nope, here they are. They're playing right now. 5-1. They have Shaquille Griffith that's hurt. That sucks. Quentin Dunbar, I wonder what what his rating is. I know he's not bad. I know he's not the elite corner that a lot of people think he is, but he's not bad. He's actually really bad this year, 58.1. We need to make some trades for a receiver or a tight end. I like tight end. If we can make a move for a tight end, I wouldn't be mad about that. Receiver though, I don't know if we really need to who are we making for what move are we making for a receiver right now? I don't know. I don't see us trading for a receiver, to be honest. Receivers don't make your team really. Who cares who your receivers are? People saying Kenny Stills or Will Fuller. No. Gosh darn it. If we trade for Will Fuller, I'm going to be pissed. Let me know if you know why, Chris. I'll be pissed if we trade for Will Fuller. Absolutely flabbergasted. It's really just all about his health. No, Will Fuller's good. I like Will Fuller, but the reason I'd be pissed is because we freaking traded away that pick to get Josh Doctson. We moved back to get Josh Doctson one pick after, and Houston took Will Fuller right ahead of us instead. We could already had Will Fuller. Instead, we had stupid Josh Doctson. So happy the Steelers won now. All I hear are Ravens fans making excuses like all their Cowboys. Yeah, a lot of penalties on the Ravens. It is funny to see them all lose, though. You know, I'm not a huge Ravens fan. I do have a great buddy that's a Ravens fan that I don't dislike, so I'm always happy for him when the Ravens win. But other than that, I don't like the Ravens at all. So I'm okay with the Steelers beating the Ravens. When he's healthy, he's a good, solid receiver. He just can't stay healthy. LOL, Cowboys got the Steelers next week. Yeah, Steelers need to put a hurting on him. God, all this talk about Stephon Gilmore. I really want the Steelers to go out and get Stephon Gilmore. That would be amazing. I hope they win this game tonight, then lose next week. LOL, when we win next week, we would be the top of the division. Yeah, that would be huge. If the Eagles can somehow give us a W to give the Cowboys a W, that would be huge for us. Absolutely huge. Steelers going 15-1. They're losing to us. Wouldn't that be something? We show up and upset them like the Falcons did the Niners last year. Falcons had no business beating the Niners, and they came out and won. Hello, to be honest, if we can roll out a 4-game win streak, I believe we would beat them. It would show us something, wouldn't it? Like, hey, we actually have some cojones. We actually have, some fight in us. We have some good stuff in us if we can somehow pull off a win against the next 4 opponents. Even though they're not bad, they're not great. Well, freaking Bengals just handled Tennessee today, so that's no walk in the park whatsoever to beat the Bengals right now. And Lions, yeah, they just had a tough one against the Colts, but they're still no slouch. And we have, obviously, the Cowboys and we have the Giants. So the next 4 wins are going to be tough. The division game should be easy, but the other 2 are going to be tough. But we have to use these 4 games to get our offense going. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would love to see more out of our offense, that's for sure. I think we should have been able to put a 40 burger on the Cowboys, to be honest, how bad they play. And the fact that we only got 25 is kind of disappointing, to be honest. Or 26. What do we get? I don't remember now. 25, 26, whatever we ended up with. I think it was 25-3, right? So, not the best. After seeing how the Ravens D-line got pressure on Big Ben, I know we can do even more. Yeah, I mean, the Ravens D-line's not bad, but obviously our defensive line is better. We put so much capital into it. That's the only thing that's better on our team than the Ravens. But, and maybe receiving core. I don't like their receiving core. I really don't. So maybe receiving core is like the 2 things we have over them. if our defense gets going, if they can ride this wave on offense and Scott Turner can continue to call a good game, we'll be fine. Our defense will dominate from this point. Watch what I tell you. Cameron Curl is about to take off. I know you love your Cameron Curl. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, our defense is definitely going to have to win us games. That's 100% true. There's no doubt about it. Our defense is definitely going to have to be our primary focus of how we win. But I don't know. It's interesting. God, yeah, I really want the Steelers to go get Stephon Gilmore. Wow, the backup to Russell Wilson. Does anybody know this is Geno Smith? I didn't know Geno Smith was still in the league. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. I didn't know that. I feel like Scott Turner kind of slowed down the offense after we went up so we don't get any injuries. I mean, that might be true, but at the same time, like, I don't really like that. You know, as Chris alluded to earlier, we need to kind of make some plays to get into the groove of winning games. And it's, I don't know, I don't think we're in a position where we could take plays off. Our defense is going to keep us very close. It all comes down to that offense. It comes down to that offense. We're going to destroy the Giants. Giants are getting ready to get destroyed by the Bucs. Yeah, the Bucs should destroy the Giants. There's no doubt about it. I'm more worried about our special teams, to be honest, than our offense. I think our offense is going to do okay, but yeah, our special teams needs to really do something. I'm projected to win 3 out of my 4 leagues this week. Not necessarily because my teams did great, but the teams I'm playing really sucked. Especially this one. Good grief. Their team was awful today. He must have some injuries and bye weeks too. Oh, yeah, he's a Christian McCaffrey, Chris Godwin, James Robinson on bye. Yeah, this guy's was struggling. Eagles will go on a 5-game losing streak, and that includes the Cowboys. We can only hope. They should look at their next couple games. Packers, Saints, Seahawks, Cardinals, Browns. That's tough. That's a tough schedule for the Eagles. That's a tough schedule for the Eagles, no doubt. But all right, ladies and gents, I am going to get off here, but I will definitely be on tonight for the Cowboys versus Eagles. Can Ben DiNucci, on his first start in prime time, give us anything? Cowboys got the Vikings, Steelers next 2 L's coming for sure. It'll be crazy if the Cowboys won tonight. I hope they do. Not often to root for them. Good hit. Bostic's back. Welcome back, Bostic. I'm actually about to get off, but thank you for joining. Hey, watch back the replay, dude. I post these things as well. Go back and watch it. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a like. But I will be back. It'll be a good game. Hopefully for us. Hopefully the freaking Cowboys take this, and then we can root today as Redskins fans. But until next time.